What if the most important discoveries in space are not announced, but hidden? NASA is the face of exploration, the agency of astronauts, space shuttles, Hubble photographs, and glowing headlines of discovery. We imagine it as a beacon of human curiosity, revealing the wonders of the cosmos to the world. But what if there is another NASA? A shadow behind the spotlight. A NASA that does not publish everything it learns. A NASA that intercepts, records, and studies signals, voices from beyond, but never releases them to the public. What if the truth is not that we are searching for life, but that life has already found us? Has NASA already heard voices from the stars? For decades, radio telescopes have swept the heavens, listening to the static of the cosmos, searching for patterns. The official programs, SETI, Breakthrough Listen, public initiatives, all tell the same story. We've found nothing conclusive. But what if that isn't the whole story? What if signals too clear, too structured, too undeniable have already been detected? What if patterns have already been intercepted, decoded, perhaps even responded to, but buried under silence because the truth is too dangerous to reveal? Would governments dare admit we are not alone, when such a revelation could shatter religions, destabilize economies, and collapse the fragile fabric of society? What about the mysterious WOW signal? In 1977, Ohio State's Big Ear radio telescope caught something extraordinary. A powerful, narrowband signal, exactly the type scientists hoped an alien civilization would send. It lasted for 72 seconds, and then vanished. The astronomer Jerry Eman was so struck, he circled the printout and wrote a single word in the margin: WOW. To this day, it remains unexplained. Natural causes have failed to fully account for it. And yet, NASA never followed it up. Never launched an official investigation. Never admitted interest. Was the WOW signal truly a one-time anomaly? Or was it the moment the curtain slipped, the first of many signals intercepted but never revealed? What if the WOW signal wasn't unique at all, but only the one time we were allowed to notice? Why do probes go silent after strange encounters? From Pioneer to Voyager to New Horizons, humanity has sent emissaries into the void, robotic explorers carrying our messages of peace, golden records of music, mathematics, and hope. They whisper back across billions of miles, their signals faint but clear. And sometimes, they falter. Data becomes corrupted. Paths shift in ways physics cannot fully explain. Entire systems fail in bursts of static. Are these mere technical errors? Or are they signs of contact? Could something, or someone, be responding to the machines we send beyond our solar system? Could their transmissions be interrupted not by malfunctions, but by interference? And when those anomalies occur, do they vanish into classified reports, never to be seen by the public again? Could strange fast radio bursts be deliberate? In the last decade, astronomers have begun detecting something unsettling: fast radio bursts. Millisecond-long flashes of energy brighter than entire galaxies. Most occur once, unexplained. But some repeat, pulsing with eerie regularity. NASA acknowledges them, but dismisses them as natural. Neutron stars. Magnetas. Exotic but lifeless physics. And yet, some repeaters seem precise. Rhythmic. Intentional. Could they be beacons, lighthouses of civilization sweeping signals across space? Could we be hearing galactic transmissions in progress, our telescopes catching only fragments? If so, has NASA already decoded portions of those messages? And are they too disturbing, too destabilizing, to ever be released? Why are astronauts forbidden from speaking freely? Astronauts are heroes, faces of courage, exploration, and national pride. But many of them have hinted at mysteries they cannot explain. Buzz Aldrin once described seeing strange lights during Apollo 11. Gordon Cooper claimed to have seen objects no one could identify. Others have spoken cryptically about bogies, radio silences, and the sense of being watched. Some accounts are quickly denied. Others vanish entirely. Why? Could it be that astronauts are silenced not to protect themselves, but to protect us? That NASA enforces secrecy not because the mysteries aren't real, but because they are too real. Because the agency cannot risk confirming that something is out there, watching them as they watch the Earth. What are the hums and whistles recorded in space? For decades, radio operators have reported strange intrusions into cosmic static. High-pitched whistles, deep hums, rhythmic pulses that sound less like noise and more like code. Some are almost musical. Others eerily mechanical. Public explanations dismiss them as plasma waves, magnetic storms, instrument errors. But what if not all of them are? What if buried in the static are voices, alien languages carried on invisible frequencies? What if there are warnings, instructions, or even maps encoded in the hums of space? Perhaps NASA knows. Perhaps the raw data shows it clearly. But to admit it would be to admit that we are already being spoken to. Could secret signals already be guiding us? What if humanity's greatest leaps were not entirely our own? The discovery of DNA. The structure of the atom. The sudden revolutions in computing, aviation, and medicine. We tell ourselves these breakthroughs were the result of human genius, flashes of brilliance in fragile minds. But what if those flashes were not spontaneous? What if signals from space have been intercepted, decoded in hidden laboratories, their knowledge trickling into human progress disguised as discovery? What if some of our greatest achievements are borrowed, knowledge seeded into our species, delivered not with flying saucers or alien visitors, but with transmissions whispered across the void? Would NASA ever admit such a thing? That humanity's march into the future was never truly its own? Why do NASA's images sometimes hide anomalies? Thousands of photographs stream from Mars rovers, lunar orbiters, and satellites circling distant worlds. And yet, in those images, careful eyes sometimes find something strange. Geometric shadows on Mars. Glimmers of metal on the Moon. Perfectly symmetrical ridges on asteroids. Objects that seem too artificial to be natural, too deliberate to be chance. And sometimes, they are blurred. Cropped, altered. Is this only coincidence? Or are some photographs carefully edited before they ever reach the public? Perhaps signals are not only heard, but seen. Written in landscapes, carved into stone, left as patterns waiting for us to decode. Perhaps the truth is already staring at us from NASA's archives, not missing, but hidden in plain sight. Why do some transmissions from space vanish? Radio astronomers occasionally report signals that appear once, then never repeat. Pulses that look structured, bursts that look deliberate, and then silence. Publicly, they are dismissed. Cosmic noise. Equipment error, data corruption. But what if they did not vanish? What if they were intercepted, taken into restricted databases, analyzed in classified rooms, buried beneath layers of silence? Perhaps the most extraordinary signals ever detected were never released at all. Perhaps the world only hears the static, while the truth is filtered away. Have secret transmissions already been answered? SETI searches for signals. NASA launches probes with golden records. Publicly, contact is a dream for the future. But what if it has already happened? What if a signal was received, decoded, and replied to? What if, somewhere in the silence of space, an answer waits, already traveling back toward us? Would NASA admit this? Or would the reply be hidden, locked away until a time when humanity is ready? And who decides when we are ready? Why does NASA downplay strange signals from Earth orbit? Astronauts aboard the ISS occasionally report mysterious noises, knocks, hums, metallic echoes from outside the station. Engineers dismiss them as thermal expansion, natural shifts in structure. But what if some of those signals are not from Earth, but from watchers in orbit? What if invisible machines share our skies, sending messages that only a handful of ears are allowed to hear? If so, then NASA's silence is not absence, it is a choice. What would happen if NASA revealed everything? Imagine it, a press conference. Cameras flashing. The NASA director steps forward and admits the truth. Yes, we have received signals. Yes, they are structured. Yes, someone is out there. In an instant, the world would change. Would humanity unite in awe, seeing itself finally as one species under the watch of cosmic neighbors? Would religions collapse, economies crumble, power structures unravel? Would panic consume the streets, or would wonder lift us toward the stars? Perhaps silence is not deception, but strategy. Perhaps secrecy is protection, not from aliens, but from ourselves. Are the signals still coming? The most haunting thought is not that we once heard a signal, but that we continue to hear them. That every day, NASA intercepts transmissions too extraordinary to release. That every week, satellites catch whispers buried in static. That every year, messages arrive that are decoded, studied, and hidden. Maybe first contact already happened long ago. Maybe the conversation has continued for decades. And maybe we are not waiting for the stars to speak. Maybe the stars are speaking every day. And we will never hear them. And so the question remains, if NASA has intercepted secret signals it won't talk about, then humanity's greatest mystery is not whether we are alone. The mystery is why we are being kept in the dark. Perhaps the silence of space is an illusion. Perhaps the stars are already speaking. And perhaps, the truth has been hidden all along.